Bob and Brian,
Back at it
brothers
again.
from other mothers. I think we missed April. We missed April. That's okay. The weather in April was lousy, but we didn't make a video. So here we are, the 1st of May. You'll see this in a day or two. We did have a busy April in spite of the weather. Had to move some classes around, move some classes inside. Did some fun stuff. So we've got some fun stuff coming up as well. If you consider yourself proficient, fairly proficient, safe, you have a solid foundation of handgun safety, we have a wonderful class coming up on May 8th that was moved from May 1st due to weather, of course. So it is on-site firearms training / life safes training, defensive pistol accuracy and accountability. It will be from 10 to 5 on the outdoor pistol range at Hartford Gun Club. And you can find that on our website. Really cool class. If you've not trained with OFC or OFT, it's a great experience. And again, it's not a beginner's class. You have to be very safe, and you have to be moderately proficient with a handgun, a center fire handgun. After that, Brian, what's coming up? Another lab.
Yep, so we've been doing the pistol labs, and we have 2 of them this year, this month, on the 11th and on the 25th. Really great to see the progress. We had our first outdoor pistol lab, which was great, so we're out of the indoor range and we're outside. Just a great way to really understand how that pistol works and get you sort of to that next level. What I'm kind of most proud of those labs is we have extremely proficient people, very legitimate, good shooters in that class, and we have some brand new people, and the class, is not slow or too fast for anyone. So that's really great. All of this is about you getting your reps in. So Bob and I always talk about, there's sort of 3 components. There's training, there's practice, and then there's like the workout. This is kind of like the workout, and that's really great. So those 2 coming up, and then on May 18th, for all of you who know folks who are kind of just beginning their pistol journey, we have Pistol 1 coming up.
Pistol 1, really good course, half day, 9 to 1. It will help the new shooter be more comfortable, confident, and competent coming to the range, handling their firearms safely, learning how to take it apart, how to put it in the box properly, how to go to a port safely. Pistol 1's a really, really good course.
This is actually going to be on a Thursday night. It's not the 9 to 1 schedule.
It's not the 9 to 1.
It's
no.
the 6 to 9:30.
6 to 9:30.
But so it's
Yep.
in the evening there. But that's a great course. And what's great is people get to not just learn how to rack the slide back and safely check it and all that kind of stuff, but they really do learn how to take the pistol down. And we practice this. We practice it over and over. How to actually clean your gun, how to manipulate it to keep it in good operational form. And then there's some fun shooting at the end that we do as well. So Pistol 1, probably a very important class for almost everyone to take.
Pistol 1, good. Another lab coming up later in May. Fortunately, our May 21 permit class sold out. So next availability is June. We appreciate the referrals. June 4th, we have an all-day medical trauma class coming up. If you've never taken a medical trauma class or a tactical medical class, however you want to approach the name of it, it's something you definitely should do. You will learn how to apply a tourniquet. You'll learn how to apply several different types of tourniquets. You'll learn how to pack wounds. You'll learn how to apply chest seals. You'll learn all of the care you hope you never need. It's not just good for the range, it's good for general life. So you can find that on our website as well. And then rolling right into early June also is Century One, which we're excited about.
Yeah, Century One, our most comprehensive pistol class. It's an all-day class, so it's not a half-day class. It is an all-day class. You'll be tired afterwards. But Century One is kind of like our premier pistol class. You get to learn everything from how to shoot accurately, how to shoot quickly, how to shoot at close distance, at long distance, and how to do all of these things with a high level of safety in mind. So Century One, really great class. Again, kind of like the labs, everyone kind of from very beginning in their shooting career to folks that have been doing it for several years and are very proficient. Everyone gets something out of it.
Yep. And hopefully people earn a Life Safe Training Challenge coin.
That's right.
So
we have the challenge coin.
There's always that. There's always that. So that sort of takes you through May and very early June. We'll probably make another video in early June and talk about what's going on after that. The weather's getting better. It's a little warmer out, a little sunnier, and it's of course lighter, significantly later, which is good for shooting. Get out after work, get out to the range. If you need help, contact us. We'll help you all we can. We have private lessons available. We have semi-private and of course group training.
Good stuff. So I had a question for Bob. Most of the time I have your questions for Bob. This actually comes from a discussion we had after one of the pistol labs. We usually go out for some wings afterwards with a bunch of the students. And this was a very interesting question, which was with the advent of the pistol mounted optic, otherwise known as the red dot here, is it appropriate for new shooters just to start with the red dot? And I have had kind of a stock answer for a number of years, which is no, I think I want you to start with the iron sight so you can kind of learn and then develop into this. And Bob had a very interesting take, which was no, I think you can probably start with the red dot. So I thought today we might explore that a little bit, and maybe he can change my mind a little bit, which I think I might be already changing my mind.
You're coming around?
Yeah, I am coming around.
So I've changed my own mind on this over the last probably 6 months or so. I believe that the iron sights on a handgun are going the way of the clutch pedal in a vehicle. I'm absolutely confident, I'm just gonna take this gun, Brian.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely confident that within another year or two, it's gonna be more and more difficult to find these guns without these. And that you're gonna see 80% of the handguns sold either red dot ready or optic ready, if you prefer green. But I think we're going to find them all optic ready. Is there good reason to learn iron sights? Of course, there's a great reason to learn iron sights. They're a fundamental of the shooting sports. Pardon me, as my allergies choke me to death. So iron sights are a fundamental of the shooting sports. I believe your gun should still have iron sights, as Brian's does. So they're a little taller. They allow you to see through the window and use them as backup. But I think, honestly, even beginners are catching on to the fundamentals of shooting better when they just use a pistol-mounted optic. When they can look right through a clear window, see the target that they want to hit, focus on the target that they want to hit, and just worry about trigger press and not moving the gun. There's always been 5 fundamentals in shooting, right? Grip, stance, sight alignment, sight picture, trigger press. Sight alignment and sight picture take on a completely different and an easier to understand view with a pistol mounted optic, because it's literally look through the window, let the dot fall on the target that you want to hit, and worry about everything else. So worry about your proper grip, worry about your trigger press. You don't have to worry too much about how you're standing, but however you're standing, it's still a fundamental. And I just see beginners. I see beginners and new shooters alike getting better much faster with pistol-mounted optics.
I would agree with you. I think a large part of this is the marketplace for optics itself. These are getting better made. So I think that's an important factor. My initial thought is, no, I want you to learn how to use the back sight interfacing with the front sight, because now that first step, sight alignment, right? That's what we're talking about. It's nothing to do with the target, is aligning the back sight and the front sight. And if you don't really understand that concept, it's going to be hard to do really much else with the gun. It's just a natural way of understanding the orientation of the gun as it relates to then the target. So I'm still a big believer in learning how to use iron sights, but boy, what's changing my mind is, one, it is more accurate. It is easier to get accurate shots. And it's also easier for us to understand what is the problem with why someone might be missing. So a lot of times we have to kind of deduce and do a couple things, ask a couple questions or give a couple drills about whether it is sight alignment that's askew, sight picture, where that sight alignment is as relation to the target, or is it the trigger press itself? We can kind of see just like what the heck the grip is, so we know right away, but we can't always tell what's happening with the trigger press. So it gets us to deduce what the problem might be in order to help someone. The optic, because it's just a dot, I don't have to worry about if this is here. If they can't see the dot, then they don't have any sight alignment. It's like saying there's no front sight or no back sight.
Right.
So I'm coming around to that. The other really strong point in favor of saying optics are okay for brand new shooters is the level of success that someone can have is immediately higher. Because once you diagnose that trigger press, they tend to hit the target. Smaller groups and more often. And that helps people's motivation to keep practicing, because now it's more fun. It's more fun to hit what you're aiming at, right? And so that's an important point. That's an important point. And honestly, this concept is not very hard to learn. Back sight, front sight, put it in the middle and make it flush on top. It's not hard,
but it's hard
to do.
It's hard to do, and it's taxing. It's taxing because you're performing a focal shift between the target and the front sight and the rear sight, and the front sight and the rear sight and the target, and the front sight and the target, and the front sight and the target. And now everything's perfect. People feel like they need to kind of snatch at the trigger, which is not going to give them the results they desire. If we don't have to worry about that focal shift anymore, hard focus on the target, all you have to worry about now is pressing the trigger without moving the gun, and I think that's an easier concept for people to learn.
Agreed.
Press the trigger without moving the gun.
Agreed. Now, one good thing about the iron sights is because it is not as exact, when you first get someone to pick up an iron sight gun, an optic mounted gun, and they just see the little dot there, that dot is going like this all over the place. And that can be very scary. Whereas the perception of movement is much less with the iron sights, because they're two big blocky things that you're trying to line up. It's not going to be as accurate, but the perception of calmness as opposed to the little dot zipping around, that has to be overcome for sure. And just kind of trusting it, like, look, all right, I'm not going to hit a bullseye every time, but I can hit good enough. So,
and that's a shooter to shooter kind of thing. If you have very steady hands and a steady grip, it's not going to be a big deal at all. If you shake with iron sights, you're going to shake with a red dot as well. So It's just a question of kind of calming yourself down and figuring out that it's okay that the dot might be moving around a little bit.
Yeah, we did a walk back drill the other day, where I don't remember what it was, 85 yards or something
86 yards.
on something on a steel target that was about as big as this. And yeah, both Bob and I were commenting that our little red dots, and we're pretty calm shooters. We're pretty accurate. It was just all over that thing. We were like, well, I mean, you just got to pull the trigger slowly backwards and see if it hits. Sometimes you just have to trust that it's going to be there, and if it's not, oh well, try again. But cool. All right, I'm slowly getting convinced. Let us know what your thoughts are. Is it okay for a brand new shooter to start off with a red dot, or should they start off like many of us already have, learning iron sights and making that transition up? I don't know. You let us know.
I know where I'm at.
He knows where he's at.
Until next month, Life Safe Training out.
Bye.